Hey guys, this is XMasterTrnrX, and today I'm going to show you a Pokemon battle that I had with my friend recently. Please bear with me, this is my first Pokemon battle in a while. The Pokemon used in this video were not EV trained, because at that time I didn't know how to EV train it, now I do. So, let's get this on. Yep. It was a 6-on-6 with my friend over Xbox. He sends out his Lugia to start, and I send out my Glaceon. Seeing how I can't really do anything, I immediately recall my Glaceon and send in my shiny Latios. This Pokemon is probably the only one that's EV trained on this entire team. He attacks me with Aeroblast, which doesn't really do a lot of damage. I counterattack with Dragon Pulse, which should do some damage. Excuse me. And he nails Hydro Pump on me, which obviously is not a very effective move on a dragon. So I don't know what he was thinking. I use Dragon Pulse again. Pretty much, I'm gonna spam Dragon Pulse on him. Pretty much every turn except one. I think I use Recover on one turn. He gets ready for a Sky Attack, and I just keep using Dragon Pulse. Which, magically, it does not take it out. I expected it to take it out, but it didn't. Lugia nails a Sky Attack on me, which nearly takes out my Latios. I use Recover. Healing my HP, obviously. And he attacks me using Ancient Power. I don't know what he was thinking when he taught Ancient Power to Lugia. Sorry for the camera movement. And I pretty much just take out his Lugia with Dragon Pulse again. Anyway, so 1 down, 5 to go. And he sends in his Darkrai, which happens to be my Darkrai. I'll explain that in the description later. Anyway, I attack him using Dragon Pulse, which oddly did quite a bit of damage. Knowing my Darkrai, he uses Dark Void, puts me to sleep. And I was predicting he was gonna predict that I was gonna switch Pokemon, so I stood in. But he probably had a backup strategy to that and used Dream Eater on me. Again, not very effective move on a psychic type, psychic dragon type. But he did recover a little HP, which should help him out in the long run. And the bad dreams really got me, so that's the last time you'll see Latios. So I send him my own Darkrai, and he uses Roar of Time. Now, I wasn't sure how he was going to deal with this, so I stood in there, obviously. I wasn't sure how much Roar of Time would do on my Darkrai, since they are the same ones. So I used Spatial Run on it, and I believe it takes it out. Yep, it takes it out. Anyway, 2 down, 4 to go. Obviously, it's 6-4 me. He sends in his Entei, and keep a close eye. Notice how all of his Pokemon are in Master Balls. Anyway, I use Dark Void and put Entei to sleep. Counter strategy, I was expecting him not to switch because he probably thought I was going to switch or use Dark Void again. But he took a good guess and actually switched. I used Dream Eater, which obviously won't do anything on the Latios that he just sent in. So I switch out my Darkrai and into my Umbreon, and he uses Psychic, which I don't know why, because it wouldn't have affected either one of them. So he withdraws his shiny Latios and sends in Suicune. I use Confuse Ray, creating a backup strategy, since the fourth move this Umbreon knows is Last Resort. So So the confusion nails Suicune, and I attack using Fan Attack, which oddly does not do a lot of damage. And the confusion gets Suicune. Suicune nails an Aurora Beam, which doesn't really do a lot of damage considering that Umbreon is a special defensive Pokemon. So anyway, I use Moonlight to set up my last attack. So pretty much I just nullified that turn. He withdraws his Suicune and goes into his Entei. I don't know why, but excuse me. I use Last Resort, which does quite a bit of damage. Actually, scratch that. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it gets the job done. Anyway, I switch out and into my Entei. My Darkrai, excuse me. And the clutch moment, his Entei wakes up and uses Eruption, knocking out my Darkrai. So I send in my Umbreon again, seeing how there wasn't any Pokemon I could use that's super effective on Entei. He spams Eruption on me again. I don't think I did a lot of damage, but I attack using Confuse Ray. Once again, setting up for Last Resort, which I don't think I use Last Resort anymore in this entire battle. Anyway, he switches out and into his Raikou. I use Moonlight, seeing how he was going to switch out, and fully recovering my Umbreon. So he attacks using Crunch. I don't know if you knew this, but Crunch obviously does not do a lot of damage. It's not very effective on a Dark type. I use Confuse Ray again, setting up for Last Resort. He believes I'm setting up for Last Resort. I don't use Last Resort at any point during this, during this battle. Anyway, I switch out from Umbreon and into Meganium, and the confusion, because of confusion, Raikou managed to hit itself. Anyway, it hits itself again, and I set up using Earthquake. Now, it's super effective, so it's ×4, but it's not same type bonus, so it's just a regular super effective bonus. It actually does a lot. For Meganium, that is a lot. His Raikou manages to hang in there with 7 HP, and pulls out the Clutch Crunch, which doesn't really do a lot, but it decreases my defense. But I take care of Raikou with Cut. Anyway, his Raikou's down, and he sends in Entei. It's 6-3. So, seeing the type disadvantage, I switch out from Meganium into my Flareon, and he uses Eruption, but thanks to Flareon's Flash Fire, it raises my Fire type bonus attacks. And so he uses Extra Sensory, which obviously is not going to do a lot of damage, considering that Flareon, I think, is a defensive type Pokemon. So anyway, seeing the Flash Fire bonus, I use Fire Blast and actually do a ton of damage for a not very effective move. So he withdraws Entei and into Suicune, and I believe pretty much forward I'm going to be spamming Fire Blast. Seeing how Flash Fire actually upped the power of it, why not? Anyway, I use Flash Fire, Fire Blast, and it does some damage and gets the Clutch Burn, which will half its attack. And Suicune misses the Hydro Pump, which I was actually kind of surprised because I expected it to actually hit. So I just go into Fire Blast one more time and manage to take Suicune out.